Racing souls with fire inside, chasing dreams where the legends hide. Through the turns, glory's real. Behind the wheel, we feel the thrill. Papa's house, the crown shines bright. Crazy lanes in the dead of night. Austin GT and Rigby's reign. Grim and the crew driving it insane. Erratic twists and Marley's groove, with Nani's grace with every move. Jackal flies and jesters grin. This is the race where we all begin. C20 wave burns the track. Touchies roll, there's no going back. Worries pace and TQ's stride. Hill and Digit, the kingdom's pride. Papa's house, the crown shines bright. Crazy lanes in the dead of night. Austin GT and Rigby's reign. Grim and the crew driving it insane. Legends carved on asphalt's face. Racing royalty holds the space. We honor them, we join the scene. Our favorite racers, the speed supreme. Erratic twists and Marley's groove, but Nani's grace with every move. Jackal flies and jesters grin. This is the race where we all begin. Erratic twists and Marley's groove, but Nani's grace with every move. Jackal flies and jesters grin. This is the race where we all begin. Insane. Insane. Erratic twists and Marley's groove, with Nani's grace with every move. Jackal flies and jesters grin. This is the race where we all begin. Chasing dreams where the legends hide. It's real behind the wheel. We feel the thrill.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. I see you guys. I see you, TCR, Wrench, Wentz, Juby, LVP, everybody coming in. Talon, Misa Mista, Moto, Grove Street Racing. It's good to see y'all. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. The community is growing and it's showing. Without further ado, I bring to you the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Z28 Racing. What's up, y'all?
I mean, I hope my hair looks good. Is that okay?
Oh yeah.
I make sure I look really pretty for you.
You got the shine looking fine, my brother. Got the shine. I see you in the cutoff. I call him Eric B. the Realist. What's up, brother? How you doing, big dog?
Hey, what's going on, Viking King? Have no fear. Eric B. the Realist is here. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Not really knowing what I should do, if I should look at the camera or if I should look at the screen. I think we can all relate to this look right here. I'm just kind of like, am I ready to go?
No, I don't get nervous in camera.
I think that's probably the hardest part of the whole thing. You don't want him to leave. Like, please don't leave.
The amount of effort that goes into NRL. We like to identify by where we are.
Don't mind me. I want to thank you so much for just chilling and hanging out.
Let's go. For me, it needs a little bit of work, but I have a couple pictures here. Gonna get the real gory one. Just a warning to you guys, this is painful.
You blow some steam off.
I don't think definitely didn't get any wins. A little bump got me off my line bad. Just in honor of you and all the people who helped us along the way.
Yeah.
I think it's time to take a toast. Good stuff, baby. Cheers, brother. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Nice. Papa was the first person we had on the show. Having hogs even back to 𝙃𝘼𝙑𝙀. But today we have somebody who has inspired me. I know he's inspired some of you guys. Here he is. What's up, sir? How are you doing?
I'm good, my friend. How are you?
I'm good, man. Thank you for coming on today.
Make sure that you subscribe to Viking as well, because he's an absolute hero. I love the way you chat to people. As I say, I don't jump on everyone's podcast. It's everything I expected it to be.
The impact that we're having right now is massive. But this time next year, let's have another catch up.
It's been a pleasure and an honor to meet you, man.
Bye everyone. Take care.
To be honest, I was getting smoked. I guess you kind of just got to feel it out. Y'all aren't going to want to miss it, as you guys know that my man here is always getting himself into some trouble. Takes this racecraft serious. My guy Jester, what's up, bro? Welcome to the show, man. Good to see you, sir. This is going to be the coolest Batman variation.
Absolutely incredible energy. Fantastic guy. I can think of anybody that deserves it. 𝙃𝘼𝙑𝙀 deserves 500 subs.
Big shout out to Yako again. I hope he sees that. I hope he knows we're a fan. All the way from the Netherlands, 𝙃𝘼𝙑𝙀. What's up, sir?
Hello. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Very good.
Have good races, you know, run side by side with people, run good lap times. That's our mission. Doesn't matter what game we play.
Today was all about 𝙃𝘼𝙑𝙀, and I appreciate you, sir. Thank you very much for being here.
Yeah, man, that's up.
Hung out with the early birds, but Yaki, Ruthless, Grim, Erratic, Legend, all those guys out there. Blanco 4-5, all the way from Maryland, y'all. Lead pencil.
Oh, Viking Gaming with the 5 gifted. Thank you so much, Viking.
There it is. There it is. That's the reaction we were waiting for. What's up, y'all? What's up, all? It's your boy back in the building. VKG is here, never fear, and we are going back to Belgium for the second episode in a row, and we are not talking waffles, my friends. We are talking sim racing and transitioning from console to PC. The man we got today has done it all. Every game that I know of, he has played, he's reviewed, he's checked it out. He's one of my bearded brothers. I love this guy. He's a father of 2 beautiful young ladies, man, and he has fallen down this rabbit hole. Been streaming for a year and a half. Please welcome our friend SpeedyBE. What's up, brother? What's up, brother?
Hey, what's up, Viking?
How you doing, man? What's Belgium like right now?
Rainy.
Rainy?
Very rainy.
I was just talking to some guys from India. It's rainy over there too. Is it just rainy all over the world right now? Is it just like the wet season for everyone?
Yeah, I think it might be coming up now.
What's up, chat? Grover's mental pit stop already coming through with a big donut. I appreciate you, brother. Brigsby, Buzz, Judo Chop, Smurp Alert. He's in the chat. Misa's here, never fear. We got Alfred always helping us out. Salamander came in. I know I saw Blanco 4-5 earlier in the chat. Nadeem is here. Thank you guys for coming in to episode 21 of Behind the Wheel. We are getting some traction. I try to do at least one of these a month, but Behind the Wheel is here to give a voice to the esport community, all of us who fall in love with sim racing. I'm still new to the game. SpeedyBE's been playing Gran Turismo since Gran Turismo 1, but he's been in the rig life for about a year and a half. He's been streaming for about a year and a half when it comes to sim racing. So we're definitely excited to hear your story, man. I appreciate you taking your time. I know you had a long work day. You're getting off. You're getting settled in. It's kind of getting into the evening tonight. So just thank you, man. I appreciate you coming in, and I'm just honored to have you.
I'm glad to be here.
So one of the things we've been doing lately is trying to reach out to our community and just getting more faces in front of the camera, getting more stories out there. Tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been streaming, why you've been streaming, and just how you feel about the community in general.
Well, I've been streaming, if we calculate my Twitch in, I've been streaming for about 2.5 years now, but I've been streaming on YouTube about 15, 16 months approximately. Left Twitch just because, yeah, racing on Twitch, it's not working. It's just not working. So I went over to YouTube. And the reason I'm streaming is basically a beautiful story. She's 2.5 years old now, but I want to get my little one when she's of age, into sim racing, then into karting, and hopefully, maybe one day, we don't know what the future holds, maybe F1 Academy. I mean, dream big.
Well, we were talking about that, man. We were talking about our kids earlier. Like you really have a plan laid out for her, man. You said your girl, your youngest girl, she's kind of a tough girl. She likes playing with the cars, and she likes likes hopping on the wheel. We have similar stories where our little ones, jumping on and messing with our rigs and stuff. But you actually want to use this as a way to kind of build those instincts early on and actually get her into physical, real life racing. Where did that come? Is that just something that just sparked up, or is it just her love for cars?
So basically, I never had the real chance, besides some track days, but I never had the chance, to get into racing. I mean, it's an expensive sport in real life. I mean, what was it for just a Clio Cup? It's about 400K a year or something.
Yeah.
And my dad used to drive rally over in Belgium, but that's a long time ago. I wasn't even born at that point. So, but yeah, I think my passion from racing comes more from my dad's side, of course. And yeah, I see my little girl playing with cars and was like, there might be something. Early on, there was like, there might be something in there. We gotta work with it.
I've seen a lot more female faces, and I don't know, man. I'm not really like, I'm so new to this, but even recently, I feel like there's more girls popping up in racing. I remember like growing up, is only like Danica Patrick, like was the only like female racing face that the United States has. I'm sure around the world where racing's a little bit more predominant, there's some more. But and I just saw a video of like this elderly gal, and they were talking to her, and she was like the first woman to ever race motorcycles in the United States, like back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. And I'm just, it's doors are opening up now. And I think when it comes to sim racing, like and you tell me if I'm lying, everybody who's racing in this stuff kind of has that vision of like, could I race on a real life track? Would I, if you put me in a race car, could I actually be better now that I've sim raced? And I think when you watch, you were telling me about one of the pro drivers you watch who kind of compares and contrasts the two, and there's some real strategy there when it comes to, getting behind a rig and that transitioning into real life racing.
Yeah, there's a lot of drivers actually follow. I mean, Daniel Morat is one of them. But you have like everybody that plays GT7 will know the guy, Jan Martin Porg, or however you pronounce it. He drives now for Ford with the GT3s, and he is actually in the Gran Turismo movie. I mean, that guy came from sim racing. There's a lot of others now currently, like Max Verstappen's team in the GT3 series. They're sim racers, so there is a possibility for any sim racer to get in there. I mean, but you have to put in the work, you have to put in the time.
It's definitely
and the
time
money
consuming, and it's costly, man. You said you had your rig in particular, you got an amazing rig setup. But you said that you had a little bit of luck in crypto in Belgium back in the day, and you were able to kind of, you get that bump ahead, and it's like, well, what do I do with it? And you said that you invested pretty heavily into sim racing. So tell me a little bit about what you got there, and I'll show a little bit of graphics about what I got.
Yes. So I basically, with the remaining money I had from my crypto, I bought my Fanatec DD Pro Extreme 50 Newton meter base with the Gran Turismo wheel on it. And I bought the GT Omega rig from it as well. And that actually bump started me. Do note, I started out in the couch with a controller like most of us, sitting there like, but yeah, from there it actually went pretty quick, because then I got a shifter, then I got a handbrake, and I was like, okay, I was streaming on it. I think at that point, 13-year-old PC I was streaming. It's terrible. I mean, that thing didn't run at all, but it did what it had to do at that point, till it died. 6 months after I started streaming, it just died.
Did you say your PS5 died on you too?
Yeah, that's recently. I saved enough money to buy me the newest screen you now see there.
The screen, man, this is wild.
The second day, like my PlayStation just died.
I think
was
I
like,
saw what
oh,
I think we
no.
actually talked like that. Maybe a couple days after that, you sent me a picture, and it was like this big, beautiful screen, and then just dead PlayStation like that. What's it like? Does the PlayStation adapt? Oh, does does the PlayStation adapt to that width, or like what do you
It
gain
does.
there?
It does adapt. For anybody watching, I do not recommend it at all. For Gran Turismo, it adapts to like an old Clio, which is a boxy car, is like suddenly like a squeezed, what you call it? Yeah, make it a squeezed Ferrari or something, like really flat. It doesn't look like anything. But on this screen, you can actually select to just take the middle part of the screen. So you can just work on a 32-inch screen and leave the two outsides black. So that's how I actually did it.
So it's not really intended for the console then. You really need that kind of PC being able to set your parameters and stuff. So that's good to know. That's good to know. So when, if you guys are out there with a console and you're shopping around, just pay in mind that, those wide screens, they may not adapt to the games that we play on console, so I'm going to this expo coming up next week in Chicago, the 5th through the 7th. It's the Sim Gaming Expo 2025. It's one of the first ones in North America of its kind, especially in the United States. All the way out in Chicago, I got to travel 1,700 miles. Shout out to 𝙃𝘼𝙑𝙀, big sponsor of helping me get out there. Sim Bros also sponsoring my room and board out there. Thank you guys so much. And shout out to George at the Sim Expo for sponsoring my special guest media pass. I'm going to try to do the best I can. But one of the things I was telling you about that I'm nervous going out there for is this is a very PC heavy community that I'm going to. A lot of iRacing guys, a lot of LMU guys, a lot of Evo, ACC. You've played all these games. Tell me a little bit about what it's like to transition from console to PC gaming, because that's what I'm most nervous about, and I think I'm going to get a lot of exposure to this.
First of all, it's hell. If you're coming from Gran Turismo, it is hell. I swear to God. Like, Gran Turismo is a driving game. It's a driving simulator. It's not a real race simulator. Hence, Simcade. But transitioning from that, where you have a lot of room, you can do everything you want on Gran Turismo, basically. Lately, with the new penalty system, it was hell, for me at least. But Gran Turismo has so much more room where you can go and take actually shortcuts, take Daytona. Just before the pit stop, if you run over the grass, you can just go straight ahead, and the game cannot calculate fast enough. So you're just setting a stop split time. I've seen some top drivers do it. That's why I did it. Sorry. But yeah, then transitioning, I tried AC Evo first. No, sorry, Assetto Corsa Competizione. I tried that one first. But on Monza T1, my Lambo got launched into the sky. And I was like, yeah, that's not realistic. Then I got AC
You're telling me
Evo.
about that. That was a big nope for you.
Yeah, it was instantly nope, done, just trash. Spent a lot of money on it, and it was on PlayStation then, so refunding was not an option. But then I went to my PC, I got AC Evo, and I couldn't even get into a car. And I was like, gotta be kidding me. I couldn't get into a car. And I was waiting, I waited, and then another next update came, couldn't get in a car, and I was like, yeah, okay, nope, done with this, refund on Steam. And then I went to Sim Expo in Netherlands, and I meet a YouTuber called 𝙃𝘼𝙑𝙀, if I can recall. And he gave me a year subscription for iRacing. And I'm grateful for that because, I had the opportunity to try iRacing out. And
you said you didn't like iRacing. You said, what, 2 hours on iRacing Tops?
Yeah, but at that point, I still haven't played the LMU. So I was glad I could try iRacing out. And I was like, okay, this looks good. This feels a lot better than ACC and AC Evo combined. And then I started looking into, well, I do want to drive a BMW or a Porsche RSR. And it was like 15 euros for one car and one track, 15 euros. I was like, oh, hell no. No, we're not going that rabbit hole. And I was like done with it. And then I got LMU, I think version 0.3 back then, 0.4. Started going into it. And actually, the adjustability that you have to do from moving from Gran Turismo to that game was like so a world of difference. But after I think 4 or 5 weeks, I got into it. I could do my first normal laps, not running 2 minutes on a Monza, for example. And yeah, ever since then, I played Le Mans Ultimate, and I can't say enough. This is a game I love and enjoy.
I've seen
Because
I've
if
seen a
that,
lot of people make that LMU jump. Like I think I've seen Hoxton play it. I've seen Blanco play it. There's a lot of guys that are able to go between the two. And I'm wondering, I played ACC a handful of times. I was trying to get into it. My community is obviously very GT heavy, but I think at the same time, like, you know, the communities will follow you wherever you go. You know, you've had a little bit of experience with, you know, YouTubing on some different gaming platforms, and we'll kind of get into that. But I think there's definitely some kind of a learning curve or some kind of algorithm there goes with, like, you know, jumping around in games. And I do want to be like an actual sim racer. Like I look at Gran Turismo as like the gateway, you know, sim game, you know. And when we talk about sim racing and, you know, you tell people, oh, I do Gran Turismo, you'll immediately know when someone else plays a PC sim racer, because it'll be like, ah, yeah, Gran Turismo's a simcade, you know. And it's like, well, it does have to get credit for introducing a lot of people to this world. You know, not everybody can afford a PC, nor do they even go down that, because the complexity level starts to jump. You know, you get into some different aspects of things, and it's hard for, you know, your everyday just kind of weekend warrior, you know, like myself. But now that we're transitioning forward, I mean, what kind of equipment do you think is kind of base level for PC gaming, at least for sim
well,
racing?
to be fair, I mean, I started with a 3060 Ti as a graphics card for my PC, which was lent from a viewer from me, which is also a real life friend. Started with that one, and it did its job. But if you're gonna stream on the same PC and race on the same PC, you need high-end equipment, because otherwise you're not making it. I actually bought myself a 4080 Super, and for that card it's already great, and it just didn't cut it. But still, I bought the card. I had to deal with it, and I had the benefit of getting a sponsor, which when he doesn't want to be named, so I'm respecting his privacy for that. But a sponsor got me a 5090 RTX, which I know you're
Wow.
watching, so thank you again for that one.
Thanks to you, sir,
But
or ma'am.
yeah, that card actually that boosted my streaming basically. I can now stream in like 2K if I want to and stuff. So, but you really need, like, for streaming and racing on a PC, you need a heavy graphics card. That's
Yeah, I'm
something I do tell you.
just now getting into that. I know there's a lot of guys out there, you know, that help out and are willing to help. 𝘃𝐼𝙑𝙀 is one of the most tech savvy. He's done a lot. He has a lot of equipment. He's gone through a lot of equipment. So whenever I need to learn something, I'll definitely go out and reach out to 𝘃𝐼𝙑𝙀. Shout out to chat again with Squeezy E in here. Brigsby, I see you, Master. What's up, Blurry? McGhost, Tony, what's going on? I think I also saw Dreamy in there. Yep, Dreamy Lions in there too. Appreciate y'all for hanging out. But when it comes to equipment, like almost pretty much everything I have is from bartering, you know, trading on marketplace, and just trying to work my way up to a setup that, you know, I feel lets me get the job done. I'm still on like AMD. I have like a Ryzen 5700 or one of those right now, and it does a decent job. I definitely, if anybody wants to jump in my Discord and kind of recommend some things for my computer, kind of help me go through that, I'm always willing to check that, to do that. But yeah, it is tough, and it's definitely an expense. And when you look at the sim racing community, it's kind of like your 30 to 40-year-old, you know, who can kind of afford, you know, an investment, because it's almost another vehicle, you know, and it constantly needs maintenance, and things are constantly breaking. And so how do you, when you look at your YouTube demographic, you know, we got guys like Smurf that jump in that are on the younger side. Shout out to Seba 13. He's out there grinding up the ranks. You know, you got a lot of these young people that are coming in. And you were telling me, man, like some of us are very, you know, we try to keep this like family friendly stream, but you have a very awesome, you know, personality. When I was talking to you about this, is what you see is what you get, man. And out there where you're from, you're telling me Belgium's a little bit different, you know, the United States, a little bit rough. You're telling me some stories of some things that happen like right outside, you know, your door that kind of explain your personality a little bit. So tell us a little bit about your channel and kind of, you know, what to expect when you come there. Cause I'm hoping that everybody here is able to jump over and we can kind of merge some communities here. But tell us a little bit about, you know, kind of what your channel's like and how you carry yourself. And, you know, I definitely want to hear a little bit about, you know, where you're from and why you do this. What you see is what you get. You know, if I got to drop some F-bombs, I'm going to drop some F-bombs.
Yeah, I surely do that. I mean, I'm coming from an area like I used to play. Some of you might know it, like ESL Pro leagues and stuff. I used to play that with UNDF. It was a Dutch clan actually. Love those guys. If I could ever talk to them again and meet them again, I would love to, but haven't had contact with any of them anymore. And I quit it in 2014. But back then in Call of Duty 4, I mean, there were 40, 50-year-olds shouting at me when I was like 21, 22 years old. And they were like, we're going to do this to your mom and to your sister. And I'm like, okay, yeah, great. But hearing that back in the day, you didn't have a report system or anything. It was like, this is online life. This is what you're going to go through. And that basically shaped me into what I am now, what you see on the stream. Like, what you see is what you get. And people in my stream know I will drop F-bombs whenever I feel like it. I will start talking French, and I cannot speak French or German, but I know the swear words, and I will use them if a French guy runs me off the track. I will. I mean, why not?
Do you think they would like I saw that what Rory and Hodgson and Sammy and Sparky and all those guys, they did like, you know, kind of the proximity chat on like Discord. Do you think proximity chat would do well in sim racing, or do you think it's just going to be a whole bunch of dudes just cussing each other out the whole time?
Oh, for me, that will make some good content. I can swear you that one. That would make awesome content for me. I know iRacing has it, and that's something I would love to have in LMU, like proximity. Like, honestly, I've been run off track 2 days ago. Like, some guy, first time in a hypercar, for me, it was also my first time, and he would just full send it into Ascari on Monza. And I mean, Dreamy or Don or anybody was in the stream, then I swear to God, the words I've used, yeah. Now, if that was on TikTok, I would have been banned for sure,
Jeez.
without a doubt.
Have you seen
I was
the
so
who me
mad.
guy where he's like, who me? Who me? And he's like pits people and like iRacing, he like sends them into
Yeah.
who me? Dude, that guy is hilarious, man. I wonder, like, because I know iRacing's way more strict with banning and like reporting and stuff. Like, how does he get away with that?
I have no clue, but LeMans Ultimate is the same way at the moment with the reporting system. Like, they do send you an email. If you report somebody, they do send you an email with the verdict of what you reported. And I had a guy that actually ran me off the track on purpose because he wanted to P1. It is what it is. And just at the last corner of Fuji, he smashed me off. I was like, yeah, F this. Just report. I'm done. Just report him. And I think it was about a week or two after I got an email with basically saying that his safety rating got scrapped. He could restart again. So I love LMU for that one. If that would happen in Gran Turismo, I think a lot of you guys will be happy. That's something they have to do.
That's honestly, I was driving home the other night and I was watching, you know, what's turning into, it's a legitimate form of bullying, you know, and there's some folks out there that are genuinely affected by bullying and cyberbullying. I think as you know, you got as this kind of live stream generation takes off, you know, and you have some, like even me, I mean, I'm pushing 40, you know, just watch kind of YouTube grow my whole life and watched all the social medias grow, and now I'm on it. I feel like there's so many more people who are doing this and seeing this as a sense of escape or a sense of therapy even, or just a way to connect with people in a way they never have. And there's a place for everybody. I mean, and when you scroll through like live shorts, there's a place for everybody. All kinds of unique people. And with the ease of access to this stuff, you're seeing more and more unique individuals. And when I look at people, and as a psychologist myself and just someone who works with people, I appreciate that. I don't really jump on someone's channel and try to judge them for how they're behaving or how they're acting or kind of what their belief systems are, because that's the beauty of like being able to peer into someone's home and watch them, do something that they love to do. And on the flip side of that is people are different. People speak differently. They have different triggers. And when you start to learn that about people, I think there's a sense of responsibility to not go into a channel and try to trigger people. You guys know I've had Jester on here. Jester is one of my favorite people in the world, one of my favorite streamers in the world. I love his rants. I love his sense of just genuineness. Do I believe the same way he believes on some things? No. But do I appreciate his topics and opinions? Yes. And I've gone at him with it before. And there's some other channels right now, and I'm not going to name them or put their business out there, but I'm watching them just catch a barrage of bullying. And even when it's justified, even when some people are actually being kind of a-holes, or maybe they're triggering you, or they don't believe or think the way that you do, I really have a distaste for those who take the time to go out and just constantly try and pick on people to get them to blow up on stream or crash out or whatever it is, man. And I'm seeing a lot of that, and it really puts a foul taste in my mouth when I see that stuff. I hate cyberbullying, and I think if there was maybe more of a penalty system in GT, some of those people wouldn't be able to get away with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I had my share with bullies. Actually, a sad story, a real short one. I had somebody in my community, and he's banned at multiple communities. He's banned even. And I'm following this Australian streamer, not gonna name him out of respect. And I was in a stream one day, and this guy out of my community was actually going at that guy, and he quitted his stream. Until now, I didn't see him live anymore. And
Yeah.
that's really a sad thing.
Yeah.
And I banned him, and I told some other streamers as well, like this guy on GT7, this is his PSN ID and everything. And I actually had screenshots from it to prove what happened. So yeah, I mean, bullies, you don't want them at all.
Yeah. I just it's a real thing, man. I almost want to try to organize something, like sim racers against, bullying or cyberbullying or whatever it is, because you genuinely have an impact on people, and we do get invested. Like one of the channels that I'm invested in is a Grandpa Goes Gaming and Grandpa Gaming, both of them, some older guys. It's the one guy who's a sniper, and then another, Grandpa Goes Gaming. He's got the big long beard, and and they've both within the last year like been in the hospital, and you see the community response, because and at some way, shape, or form, the longer this goes and the more you expand your network, you're going to be aware of some tough things that are happening in the community. So it's, I genuinely love my community. Like, as with the 1,000 people that I've met this year, I truly have, I take time out of my day to talk. I think it was 𝙃𝘼𝙑𝙀 that called me a couple of weeks ago, and we just chatted about like, his kid, and my kid. And I talked to Eric, PhD, and invested in the health of his family. Always mentioned Hogston and being invested in his health and wellness. Now that you've broken this like 670 marker in your growth, like how often is it that you have genuine connections with people off stream?
I do have connections with people off stream, and that's basically just, I think, my nature. Like, I have some people in my community, and I haven't heard him for a few days now. Well, he's normally always in my stream. And first thing I did was I tagged him in the Discord itself. Still got no reply. And then I messaged him personally. Still got no reply. But for me, it's now wondering, because I know he has a bit of health issues and stuff. So for me, it's now wondering, is he okay? It's not that I'm gonna be like lying awake in my bed from it, but it's something when I start streaming, I do think about it because I know he's not in my stream or he's not even answering a Discord. And I'm like, okay, what's up with it? Has something happened to him? Is he okay? Yeah, but I mean, there's several people that I talk with off stream, especially when I had my lowest point on stream, because something I didn't tell you, or I think I didn't tell you, I was about to stop streaming for good. I was done.
Yeah,
Just fully
you
done.
mentioned there was a rough time there.
Yeah, and then I had people like PlayStation Racer. Some of us know him, Mr. Mitchell Morgan. Shout out to that guy. I love the guy. He helped me a lot with stuff. But we had Brittany, we had Matt Mikey, we had other people. I can name a lot of people actually that were personally messaging me like, "Why will you quit? What's up?" and stuff. Like I was hitting a deep end with my Gran Turismo because I was at the front, I got to the mid, I got to the back, and I never recovered anymore. I was just staying in the back. I couldn't recover. I didn't enjoy it anymore. And yeah, then people started reaching out because, like I said, what you see is what you get. I cannot hide it on stream. People see it on me when it's something up. Like if I'm having a bad day, they will see it. If I'm having an amazing day, they will notice.
Yeah, you don't
But,
realize how
yeah.
much you radiate through the screen, you know, your energy and stuff, and what that does for folks. I had no reason to be on YouTube other than I wanted to. I saw Rory's channel and I was like, oh, this is what sim racing is, or at least what I thought it was at the time. And I was like, well, I could do that. And then it was like, well, why am I going to be on here? And I've just wanted to be a positive, either inspiration or just someone nice that you met today. You know, like we're playing the same game. You know, why not? You know, if my neighbor was playing Gran Turismo in his garage, you know, I'd knock on the garage and be like, hey dude, you want to play? Like I'm playing too. Like let's have some fun. You know, so you meet all these new neighbors, man. You meet all these new introductions. And for me, this is a sense of therapy. You know, I lived a really tough life, and for the most part, people haven't been awesome to me. You know, so you know, when I meet people that I've met over the last year that have reached out to me, and for the first time I've ever kind of reached out, because the Sim Expo wasn't going to be on my radar at all. Like I have 4 kids. I work full time. You know, I'm very busy. In the beginning, it wasn't so, but now it is. But for people like TK to reach out to me and be like, hey, man, you need to go to this expo. I want to help. For people like irisk to reach out, be like, you need to go to this expo. I'm going to put in a good word for you and give me the opportunities that I have next week. For Papa's House of Game, you know, sharing through the community, and those people who came out and reached out said, hey, I want to help you get there. To Sim Bros, who reached out and was like, hey, we want to get you there. We want to make sure you're safe and sound when you get to Chicago. Like I feel, you know, I feel like there's a sense of obligation to the channel. And you were talking about that to me earlier, like, you know, feeling like, oh, I got to get on, I got to do this. So you said there was a sense of GT fatigue that happened, and then you kind of got reinvigorated, you know, with the LMU and the PC cell. How, you know, what is it, when I don't want it to be a negative that the community makes us, you know, kind of like feel like there's an obligation there, but I want it to be as like a motivation. So what's that motivation for you with the community behind you, and your, you know, your goals for the channel and where you want to go with this? I know you really want to grow. Tell us a little bit about how the community motivates you in that regard.
For me, it's more like I like to connect with people. Like in my younger days, I was a lone wolf. I never had friends in school. I actually quitted school because I didn't like it, never had friends. I was more on my own, like, leave me alone. I'm just doing what I should do. And like with getting older, I was like, I want to meet people. I want to hear their stories. I want to hear their life experience and learn from them. And that basically is now translating fully into my stream. Like, I want to hear people's stories. I still remember you, Viking, when you came into my stream, you said hello, you asked for my story, you listened, and you told a bit of your story in my stream. And
I remember
that's what I love. That's what I love about it. I mean, you were a total stranger, and I was like, yeah, you can it may sound weird, but you can actually feel a bit how you're talking to somebody or how they're talking to you, and you can feel like, could I connect with that person, basically? And
For sure.
it's just that vibe that's coming off. I had people in my stream that were coming in for the first time, was like, that doesn't feel good. It just doesn't. The way he talks is like really aggressively, like that cannot go good. And I had a few of them, but they left as well real quick, so I'm not that bothered by it. But you have like I seen Donnie in the chat and 𝙃𝘼𝙑𝙀. Those guys came into my stream. I know 𝙃𝘼𝙑𝙀 from somebody else that streams a whole other type of games. Some I don't know what's called, Star Citizen or something. I know 𝙃𝘼𝙑𝙀 from there. 𝙃𝘼𝙑𝙀 is an awesome guy, by the way. But yeah, you have those people that you instantly click with, like, yeah, that's my vibe. Let's go. Let's talk. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, it's not easy. Like I hope people do understand, like it's time. I was telling you earlier, like all of this is time. The whole algorithm, the whole channel, everything, live streaming, live means live, and we're living on time. And every time you jump on, someone who's coming into your channel is either spending their time in some capacity hanging out with you. And there's a level of influence that goes there. And I try to genuinely meet people and talk to people, and I'm interested in who they are. Like I have 4 or 5 minutes before I jumped up here, before we were going to jump on to talk, I was talking to these guys from India, and I was like, learning this whole guy's story. And just, I met a kid not too long ago, and he turned out to be, like a Christian rapper, and he's going to come out to my site and he's going to put on a concert for my boys. And I mean, it's crazy, like all this started, I got to give credit always to 𝙃𝙗𝙃, who kind of reached out to me for the first time outside, on Discord, and shared this whole testimony with me. And we just kept talking. I was like, man, how cool would it be, if we had these conversations live, if we gave a voice to the sim racers, or in just our capacity, if I was doing Madden like I was, I'd try to be doing this with, Madden guys, So shout out to Ice Taylor. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the dono. Rob, C Turbo, everybody that's coming in. Thank you. I see you guys. Appreciate you for being here. But that's it, man. That's the community behind you guys. And whatever mission you're doing, with me in the beginning, doing the channel was like, man, I really need to do something with my time on disability. Maybe I can generate, some kind of revenue stream, because you live kind of within a box in disability. And then when I went back to work full time, I was like, all right, how can I help people now that I'm getting paid? And then now it's like, okay, what can I do with the channel? What can I contribute to this? And as I grow in this space, how can I help others, and be there for others? And we've sent clothes to folks, we've sent food to folks, we've gone on campaigns for folks, and been able to do some things. And I don't know, man, just, it's amazing, this network ability to be able to talk to people all around the world. Like, does that blow your mind, just meeting people from random corners of the world who are watching this game at the same time?
Yeah, that's something that still amazes me. Like, I have people from South Africa, and I mean, they came in my stream, and I was basically like saying good evening in South African, and he's like, "You talk South African?" I'm like, "No, totally not, but I just know how to say hello." And it's nice to see that people from all over the world join your stream. It's amazing. Like, yeah, and even in real life, I mean, I'm a small fish in the sea. But I was at the spa 24 hours, and some guy from Netherlands walked up to me and said, "You're 𝙃𝘼𝙑𝙀." I'm like, yeah. I did have my shirt on. Normally I have a shirt on, but my backpack was on it, so he couldn't see it. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm in your stream." And he said his name, and I was like, "Oh God, no. How is this even possible?" And yeah, we actually walked on spa for about, I think,
cool.
45 minutes. I was like amazed. Yeah.
So you
And I
actually,
didn't know.
Go ahead.
I didn't know how he looked like, because you don't see, most of the time you don't see faces on YouTube.
Yeah. If they don't stream, you don't know what they look like.
Yeah, if you're on TikTok, you can see faces and videos most of the time for how people look. And I was like,
Oh, I didn't
yeah,
know
okay,
that.
this randomly hearing your name in public for me was like, what? Who? What is this madness?
Yeah, that
So
happened
that
to
was
me at
something
Costco
fun.
with Rick Slick. I tell the story too many times, but it's still like still so cool because the only time I've ever been recognized publicly. But it was, you know, at the checkout line, and Rick Slick was like, "You're Viking King." Like I was like, "Oh snap!" And then we had to explain to people what sim racing was. Probably a little bit easier at Spa to explain to people, you know, the sim racing connection. But when you're at the
Yeah.
checkout line at Costco, not everybody is sim race savvy. So pretty cool. Well, you were telling us, you know, when we go back to this graphic here, looking at your rig, you have a very special wheel, and that you, if I'm not mistaken, you got that at Spa, right?
Yes, this one. I can show it. No, if I can show it very good, but this is the BMW M4 wheel. I really
That
enjoy
is
this wheel,
that's a nice slick wheel. That looks
and
comfortable.
this is a real fun. Yeah, this is a. By the way, this is a one of one. This fits right into a BMW M4 GT3.
Oh wow!
But this has a special story for me. I mean, I use ChatGPT, by the way, to calculate this.
Shout out Tony. I see you,
And
brother. Appreciate your support, dog.
I was at Spa 24 hours. There were sim rigs everywhere. I mean, 24 hours, what are you going to do a whole 24 hours? There were sim rigs everywhere. And I was like, I went to some Coyote, some radar detection thing, and I won basically a marker there from sim racing. I was like, okay. And then there was another booth. Don't shoot me for the name because I can't remember it. If Nigel is in the chat, but I think he is, he might remember. And there was, I had to pay 18 euros to sim race, and I'm like, why should I pay 18 euros? I mean, I have a sim rig at home. Why should I do it? But to kill some time on 24 hours of racing, I was like, yeah, you know what? Just pay the 18 euros and be done with it. Let's go sim racing. And they're like, yeah, but there you can race free, and this is 18 euros. And I'm like, yeah, but that's Fanatec. I'm like, I want to go Fanatec for sure. And it was with the BMW wheel I was racing, but I had no clue. The only thing they told me was like, yeah, if you put a time in, you will be contacted if your time is fast enough to go to Paris or something to do testing there to win a real GT4 contract. And it was like, oh, yeah, cool,
Holy
sure. I just
smoke.
paid 18 bucks and I will just put a time in. You get 15 minutes. I put a time in, no worries. But I heard nothing else at all. So put a time in, I got something around 190 of times, and they needed 250. I didn't get a call back, so I guess I dropped somewhere off from that big list, because that's basically over multiple events over the whole year that they calculate that one.
Oh yeah, so
But
like a
yeah,
top
okay.
250 from each one, and then they take from that.
Yeah. So there were still two events, like this Sunday I'm going to Spa, to Zoller 24 hours this weekend. So it's going to be there as well. So I might do another shot, who knows. But yeah, so I did my time. It was an AC Evo. I mean, I didn't like the game, trust me. But I just got into it, 2 laps. I was like, okay, amazing. I get the feeling now of the pedals, because we were using SemiQ pedals. And I swear to God, those pedals are amazing, but I will never pay them because they're what, 4 or 5K a piece. Like,
Oh
I'll
geez,
let it
yeah.
go.
I mean, it's
It's
crazy.
cool to. It's cool if you go into the sim. You're going to Sim Expo. If you see SemiCube, do test those pedals.
Yeah, I
Trust
can't
me.
wait to try some
Test,
stuff and feel like what a real professional
test
grade
them
rig
out.
feels like and compare.
Test them out, but don't fall in love with them. That's the only thing I'll say. But yeah, so moving on. I did my time. I was happy, and yeah, I got a message on my phone. My girlfriend like, yeah, the kid's not okay. She's a bit sick, and I'm like, yeah, okay. For me, it's done. 24-hour spa is done for me. I'm telling my friend like, dude, we gotta go home. The kid is sick. I'm not gonna stay till the finish. I'll watch it on TV. Don't care. Even though we paid for it, don't care. My place is home with my kid. That's who I am. I'm a father. That's my thing. So
100%.
we're driving home, and suddenly I get a WhatsApp. I'm like, what the hell is that number? Never seen that number. I'm like, okay. And I'm going to the parking, and I'm like reading a message. Can you be at 2:30 p.m. at our booth? I'm looking at my friend like, they want me at their booth. And he's like, yeah, stop shitting me. I'm like, oh, sorry. And I'm like, yeah, that's bullshit. I'm like, for what? And he said it, well, you want a BMW M4 GT3 wheel signed. You have the fastest time. I'm, I'm looking at my friend like, dude, this is just a joke. This is just bullshit. This is not possible. I'm a mediocre sim racer. I mean, I'm not at the top split at all. How is this even possible? So yeah, was like, okay,
Man.
fun.
And who's it
And
signed by?
the top left one is the BMW driver, Dan. That's what I know. But the other ones, I mean, there's so many on them because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17,
Wow.
18 signs on it. So I have no clue who everybody is. I know a few of them because they were the BMW drivers on Spa 24 Hours there. They signed it.
Holy smokes. 𝙃𝘼𝙑𝙀, my guy, I love you, brother. Thank you so much, man. I love watching you. It's awesome to connect with you. Appreciate you, man, and all your support. If y'all don't know 𝙃𝘼𝙀𝙀, y'all got to check him out.
I know.
Dude, that's
I
amazing.
follow him.
That's amazing. Yeah, 𝙃𝘼𝙀𝙀
So-
is, dude, I've seen 𝙃𝘼𝙀𝙀, dude, and hopefully I'm saying his name right. I'm probably wrecking it. But I've seen him do some crazy donos, man. He came into my channel one time and I think he donated like 25 members. It was wild. The dude is an amazing supporter. One of my favorite people out there. Really cool person. Y'all check him out. 𝙃𝘼𝙑𝙀, what's up, dog? Good to see you. Good to see you. 𝙃𝘼𝙑𝙀's also another great guy. That's the thing, man, is this community and like the doors that it opens. I've been on Rory's channel, you know, and he was talking about, you know, obviously, you know, European football, you know, over the seas, but he's talking about soccer. And he just like said so, and some guy was like, oh, I'm the manager of this and this, boom, 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 I got you tickets, boom, boom, boom. And I was just like, that's the power in numbers, man. There's some real guys out there that, you know, have some real influence. You know, you're watching Super GT break 1 million subscribers, you know, and these words, you know, that they speak have meaning. You know, they can move mountains. I mean, I was watching Rory when the gentleman had said, you know, and I won't put his name out there, but the gentleman had said that he was about to start chemo, you know, and he boom sent him a Thrustmaster. You know, I love when I see the communities helping each other, and every time, you know, like my channel makes, you know, a jump up, I'm like, I have that much more ability to impact, you know. And going out to the Sim Expo next week, I want to shake as many hands as I can. I want to take as many pictures with people as I can. I want to get as many people potentially set up for interviews behind the wheel as I can. And I'm just hoping that it's, you know, it's another one of those jumps, because I'm excited to be able to help some folks. You know, I'm excited for what I may be able to do for my son who's getting into film and he's wanting to do a channel, and kind of being able to pave this way for him. You know, you're setting your daughter up for success, and, you know, and starting up the second rig and being able to look at these opportunities. I mean, it's really cool. Anybody in chat, you know, I love to hear where you guys are from, what part of the country, part of the world that you guys are at. Definitely type it in. See how far, you know, we're spreading today, because this web it's fascinating. You know what I mean? I to hear that you have these opportunities from, like, you wouldn't a year, you know, 2 years ago, let's say, maybe you don't even jump into that booth, you know, or pay that $18 to jump on a sim rig, you know, and then you don't get that opportunity, because, I mean, where else and when else would you have tried that if it weren't for sim racing? SpeedyBE. I know that has some roots in photography. You have been a photographer for 17 years. We'll get into you being an Onion fan, but a photographer for 17 years. Tell us a little bit about that. And I know that's kind of where the SpeedyBE comes from. That's where your logo comes from. Something that you're super, super passionate about. Even starting up, you were telling me about your camera and you're kind of griping that it wasn't doing this. Like, you're talking lingo I don't even know. But where did the passion for photography come from?
Basically, my stepfather was a well-known photographer. He's retired now. And actually, I went on a few jobs with him, and then I bought my own camera, and I went going with him. I have thought no school for this, not at all. And after a few months, he basically dropped me in and said, like, little ones here.
That's the best.
Yeah, there she is. I'm just gonna say good night. Hold on to take it. That one. Oh, she can shout. Oh.
He definitely can't deny that one, chat. That she is a spitting image of him.
So yeah, and then he said like, "You want to do a job for me?" And I'm like, "Are you sure that I can?" And he's like, "Yeah, just try it. We'll see." And one job became 2 jobs, became 3 jobs, became 10, became 20, became 50, and it went on and on and on and on and on. Like it was crazy how fast that went. And then for my cheap camera, I bought my first professional camera, professional lenses and everything. And yeah, that's since 2008. It went so fast, so quick. And before I knew it, I spread my own wings and I started doing wedding photography, started doing events, bird photography, not bird, giving bird photography, I'll put it that way. So, yeah, there is questioning for that in Belgium. Don't ask me why. Work is work.
Work is work,
For,
dog.
for me, it's just a job. Yeah, I had a lot of comments on that one that I do that because it's on my website, and people say, "How can you do that?" I'm like, dude, I'm giving those parents the most important thing in their whole life, the first seconds of their baby being born. For me, anything else besides
Wow.
that, of taking that one first picture of their child, is the most important thing for
Yeah.
me.
That's a
That's it.
anybody who has
And after,
kids, that's a heck of a sight for sure.
And after that, I'm out. I'm like quietly leaving. The pictures are taken. I'm like quietly leaving and leaving the parents enjoy their newborn child. And that's basically for me.
That's cool.
Oh, hope and all, it's like 5 to 10 minutes of work because I mean, and yeah, that's something I specialized in before COVID. To be fair, so I did a lot of those. But after COVID, sadly enough, I do still take pictures, but I don't have like all the customers anymore every month like I used to have before COVID. Before COVID, I was fully booked. Now I'm like, can be lucky if I have 1, 2, maybe 3 bookings a month, and that's even like really scratching the ground for some breadcrumbs that are left over. And sounds stupid, but yeah, Belgium is oversaturated with wannabe photographers. I know everybody has to start somewhere. But going onto Facebook and saying, "Hey, I'll give you for 500 euros, I'm giving you 2,000 edited pictures." Picture editing is not just a filter in Lightroom. So
Yeah, well,
yeah, and
AI. I mean,
that's the
the
problem.
tech has changed too, man. I mean, there's so much auto edit software that it's man, that's something I haven't thought about. You know, that tech could be taking away some specialists from us, such as yourself, man. COVID changed a lot of things, man. It forced people indoors. I think it definitely jumped this tech boom. I mean, look at sim racing now. I was watching some statistics about how, you know, you even have the F1 movie. You have oh no, we lost him. Don't worry, we'll get him back real quick. Let me make sure. Yep, but the Discord like did a hiccup, so technological differences. We're back. But yeah, it's this tech boom that we're living in. No, we've never been able to do this before. We've never been able to experience this kind of immersion, this kind of graphics. You know, VR has changed the game. Virtual reality is taken over in so many spaces. AI is giving the ability for people to do, like you said, you know, edits and, you know, opening the doors for all of us to kind of figure things out. YouTube University, you know, if it's not on YouTube, you need to be the one that gets it on YouTube, like Behind the Wheel. I saw, you know, space that needed to be filled and I filled it. But content creation, man, it's absolutely insane. So with the photography side, is the birth pictures, is that the craziest, you know, job you've done, or what would you say is the craziest thing you ever had to photograph?
The craziest thing, yeah, OnlyFans pictures. Not for myself. I mean, for me, in that moment of time, I couldn't open up. We needed to be closed with COVID, and I had the opportunity of working off the book photography. So basically, I did a lot of those shots
Yes.
because some girls like really wanted to make money, and that's how they did it. But some pictures were like, with a phone, it's not the same. So they wanted professional pictures. I made
Oh
I made a
man.
good buck of it.
Nobody
So yeah, I
talks
mean,
about the photographers enough, man. And I mean, I thought it That's
I
awesome.
mean, that was basically my COVID period. I'm like, okay,
Hey,
well,
OnlyFans took off during COVID, man. Like, I feel like it was such a spark in the air, and then now it's like, dude, everybody's on freaking OnlyFans. I can't, I just, it's not not going to be something I ever do. But I'm like, how do I? And I got 3 girls, man, and I'm like, how do I keep them off of OnlyFans? Like, you guys need to study and work hard, and it needs to be easy enough that you don't just
I mean,
go in that direction, man. It's
to
scary.
be
It's crazy.
to be completely fair, and this is going a bit the other way, but can you blame them? I
Oh
mean,
my! I
they
mean,
make more money in a month than we
yeah.
make in a full year,
I was
and
just,
we're not the idiots at paying it, but it's
yeah,
everybody else. I mean, there is enough other places where you can all search that stuff for free. No,
yeah.
they just want that person, and they're paying big money for it, like real
Because
big
it's the
money.
connection. It's feeling like you're watching something live. And I was just, so I'm a psychologist, so I look at things, from like a developmental perspective, and I work with a lot of psychologists, and we were talking about, actually, me and my program director, because we were talking about the gal who just broke like the OnlyFans record, and it was like, it's crazy because what you're seeing there in that demographic is it's kind of disgusting, because you have the reason that she was able to break that record is because she was so close to 18. And you had all these, and I'm assuming males, probably the majority of that demographic, I feel safe saying that, um, are going to look at that because they want to see something that is so taboo, that is so close to that marker. And then I saw a post come up where she's trying to like sell her virginity to the highest bidder. And so I'm sitting here talking with Misa about this. I'm like, what's jacked up is like, you have guys that go to war, and they justify, being a killer for the sake of, what am I going to do for my country? The good that's going to come from me serving this purpose. And then you have people who you get a certain sense of wealth, they provide. You have men and women who work for decades to provide. And these OnlyFans folks, they can do that overnight. They could change the trajectory of their family overnight. And it's like, if you're willing to live with, having that out there, whatever your moral compass is, are you doing something good by sacrificing yourself? I know there's a certain conversation there, because you'll hear these podcasts where the majority female influencers will talk about, what they've been able to do for their family. I haven't saw one where the guy had tattooed his daughter's, porn name on his arm, to show his support. I'm like, like, you go, dad. I mean, so what are you gonna criticize your kid the whole time? I mean, I'm not gonna go as far as to like, tattoo that on my body, but gosh, what kind of position would I be in as a father if that was a reality? Thank you, Misa.
Yeah, it's something great, but nobody talks about that one OnlyFans girl, what she did a few days or about a week and a half ago. She
Crazy.
donated 10 million of her OnlyFans money for clean water. That happened live.
Yeah, and
I
then
seen
so then
that. That was like,
do you put her
okay,
down? Like,
I mean, if you can spend 10 million for clean water on the other side of the world, what the heck are you making?
oh my
A
gosh.
month, a year. I mean, you just said live on the stream, like, yeah, it's me. I want to donate 10 million. And it was with Mr. Beast, by the way. And he said, like, you sure? Yeah, I'll
That's
give you
crazy.
my details of my bookkeeper, my accountant. And they're like, I was sitting there like, 10 million, if you have that one.
Dude, it blows my mind. And there's so many people who are getting into there's so much work that goes into this. You think about, even let me just use my own example. I've done over 400 videos now in a little bit over a year, not even a year and a half yet. I've had, several thousand likes in total, and I've put so much work, so much time and energy into this for someone to go do something so simple as that and become a buku millionaire. Like, have have things and get to experience things in life that are so beyond measure that I can't even think about. I just, you got to weigh your moral compass, like, I mean, you going to suffer for 70 years or you going to let it go for 7 minutes?
That's true. Just seen a question come in. SpeedyBE, how do you get over streaming when you only had a handful of viewers? Well, the thing I'm using for that one, I don't care if I have 1 viewer or I have 30 viewers. I had moments when I had 20, 25. I had moments when I had 30. I have days when I just have 1 viewer. But at that point, that 1 viewer that is watching, that basically is 1 person that takes his time to watch me do what I love. And I rather stream for that 1 person that loves what I do, that wants to see it, than stream for thousands of people that are just there for nothing and just sitting there and hoping something goes wrong, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I love hanging out with the smaller channels because I get seen. I get to have a conversation. That's
Yeah, I had the same thing. I'm not gonna shout any names or anything, but I was with a bigger streamer and he was just starting into another game. I'm not gonna say which game because otherwise it would be too obvious. I don't want to be talking bad about him, but there were 2, 3 people, me included. There was somebody else that's also currently in the chat. We were all saying like, do this for your settings and it will be better. And he just plainly ignored everything, but everything. And then suddenly he goes like, oh yeah, maybe if I try this, that will work. And it was basically like 15 minutes after we said it, like what to do. And for me, it was like, yeah, okay, look, I'm not going to reply anymore. I just unsubscribed to him because I was like, if you're going to be like that kind of a D-head and be like showing that you thought about it while 3, 4 people in your chat are saying it to you when you ask and you just plainly ignore them. I mean, it can be that you just read over a chat, but multiple people after each other saying the same damn thing, that's for me like you're just ignoring them. They're not good enough for you. So
Yeah,
why would we be good enough to watch you? And that's basically where I'm coming from.
I've been in some.
Hence why I say like
you could feel it too.
Yeah, exactly.
You could feel it coming off the host when they're ignoring you, and it's like sometimes you don't, and I don't know why sometimes. I don't know if it's, hey, Viking, I haven't seen you in a while, or like it was when you first started. Like, dude, when I first started, I only knew a dozen or so people. So I was on those same couple dozen channels all the time. And then as you grow, it's a few hundred people. And then, once you break, 1,000, it's, this is a big community. It's hard. I've kind of watched, I've sat back and kind of watched, bigger streamers and how they engage with the community. I'll see when Rory comes into a chat, he'll say hello. And then with his real close inner circle, he'll carry on kind of conversations in the chat. But for the most part, it's like, hey guys, general, kind of statements, and kind of same way for some other big streamers. So I do pay attention to that a little bit, and I try to make sure that, even when we're doing behind the wheel, because it's a very me and you conversation, but when Squeezy comes in and talks about how inspirational it is, like we're watching and reading all the time. And when those bigger channels, I mean, I don't know how they keep track so well. And some guys do it better than others, but I think there's when someone doesn't want you there and they know that the chat maybe likes you or is supporters of you, or you kind of have that, I've seen you on this channel or that channel. You could still feel it off a host, when they don't want you in their chat. And I've just respectfully backed out of the chat and just kind of walked away and just like, cool, if you don't like me, you don't like me. It is what it is.
Yeah, I just see here like it's hard to visit everyone, and I have to agree with 𝙃𝘼𝙃𝙀. This is one of the hardest things, and I think Viking, you will have the same exact feeling. Like you follow so many people, but going around everyone with you barely have you only have 24 hours in a day, and I'm trying to jump into everybody's stream and saying hello, hang out for a few moments. If it's in the daytime, like with 𝙃𝘼𝙃𝙀, I'm Like in the daytime, he's streaming, and I'm at work. I just put my PC on, put it on lurk mode. Sometimes I say something, mostly I'm working, then I say something again. And it's easier for that one when people stray in the daytime for me. But like at nighttime, like you come home, you gotta make food, put the baby to bed, the kid to bed. You stream, and it gets so overwhelming at that point that you barely have time. Sometimes when I'm just streaming and I just started and that starting song is going on, I'm currently opening YouTube tabs, like tap, 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 and going like, hey, how's it going? Have a great stream. Poof, next one. Hey, how's it going? And going like 5, 6, 7 taps off what I can do in those short 3 minutes of that song. Like to just say like, okay, I dropped a like, said hello, I'm being here. But yeah, hanging out, most people that I follow, like 𝙃𝘼𝙑𝙀, sometimes. Depends when he streams, you never know. But like 𝙃𝘼𝙑𝙀, sometimes I have a stream on in the back, but he streams strikes around the same time as me. So it's a bit like, yeah, I can say hello, I can hang out for 5, 6 minutes, but I have to put his stream on the background, put the volume down, and focus on my racing and everything. So there's so much happening, and it's like 𝙃𝘼𝙀 said, you cannot visit everybody at the same day. It's just not possible.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I just I try not to ignore the last notification, you know, like when I open up YouTube, it'd be like, boom, okay, that's what I'm going to watch. You know, and I try to watch a race. I try to hang out. I try to have some conversation. I am excited to see what everybody else is doing. So I do like to jump around and kind of jump back and forth and kind of see what chat's doing and kind of hanging out. It is an awesome hobby of mine now. It does consume a lot of my time, and I try to prioritize that, you know, or I try to use my time the best I can. When I'm live, I try not to stress as much about like the outcomes of the race. I try to have fun and be more focused on chat. So what I've done is I've tried to do, you know, like my quality time and where I'm really practicing, because I do want to become a better racer. When I'm really practicing, I try to do that kind of off stream now, because I do want that focus, that laser focus, that competitive edge, you know, and I get into it, and it's hard for me to focus on chat when I'm really trying to do like A+ stuff, you know, and now that I've gotten like to the A+ marker, it's like, okay, chat and the community is going to hold me to that standard and kind of expect that, where you don't realize like it's hard to get to that level every week. It's hard to, you know, reignite that motivation that you had last week to hit a top 100 time, or, you know, to be in those top splits. So where does your motivation come from, you know, when you get in the rig? Do you have a method to your madness, or, you know, do you prioritize chat over the game when you're live?
How to say, with Gran Turismo, I was like, I gotta keep chatting to people, and I want to make fun and talk to them, even tell them a freaking life story to like 20 times over if needed. But then I have to agree what Judo just said in the chat. Off stream, I do amazing laps. How did I win this steering wheel otherwise? But when I'm racing on stream, it's a disaster. And I had at some point, I had to switch my brain, like, okay, I gotta find an application here, Caster Labs in this case, that does TTS for me so I can hear it, but the stream doesn't hear it, because the stream doesn't want to hear what they say like 2, 3 times over. So I found that one. So, and ever since then, I could start focusing more and more on my racing. So, and I hear what they're saying in the chat, but at that point, my brain decides for me, like, am I going to reply to that now or later? So it filters out, is it really important? Like, is somebody that, hey, I'm not doing good? Or is it like, oh, go speedy? And there's a whole lot of difference. If it was like, hey, I'm not doing good, I will divert my eyes a bit and go to chat and listen what's up. But if it's like, go speedy, I'm not even going to reply to it. I appreciate it. I enjoy that one. But I'm less to reply on those things, if you know what I mean. So,
For sure.
and from that, I got, like, look at me now in LeMans Ultimate. I'm fighting for podiums, which is something I haven't done since I was 6, 7 months in Gran Turismo. I couldn't fight for podiums after that, and now in LeMans Ultimate, I'm fighting for podiums. It's so stressful. I'm sweating. Like, I have to change my t-shirt.
Yeah, the back sweat is real in these chairs.
Yeah, next gen racing has a new seat. if I want to change anything of my on my sim rig, because that's a question I get a lot in my stream, that's my seat. I will
Thanks.
at some point get that next gen level sim racing seat with the ventilation in the back. I've seen that one. That is a
Chat, how do
must
you guys
for
deal with the back
anybody.
sweat? I got a box fan like right over here. The AC comes out right here, so I try to keep the air circulated as much as I can. There you go.
This is my fan. I got my fan with me.
It's crazy hearing about like how rare AC is in a lot of places over the world. Like I'll talk to guys and they'll be sweating bad. I'm like, man, turn the AC up or something. They're like, we don't have AC. Like AC is not something that's common, I guess, all over the world. So I feel very blessed to have air conditioning. And the week that it went out, I don't know if you guys were around. Some of you guys were. Remember, like the week my AC went out, it was absolutely freaking miserable. Absolutely miserable. I definitely want to talk about some other graphics that we have here that kind of explain your mentality in life and just kind of how you roll. First, we'll talk about your truck here because you do have a need for speed in real life. You are a kind of a car savvy guy. You do enjoy the vehiculars. Tell us a little bit about your truck here. And what you're doing. Are you holding a flare out the sunroof?
Yeah, that's something that's very special to me.
Supposed to be 10 and 2.
I've did, as you can see on the sticker, I've done Runball Rally, and that's something that's a sort of cheaper spin-off than Gumball. I mean, I don't have 100K laying around to drive on Gumball. That's costing me that was actually costing me like $180 per person with dinner and everything with it, just to say. But there was like, we were on the road, they were filming, and I had this stupid idea of getting a smoke flare and pulling it in my car. Yeah. That's why I have to open the roof. So there was somebody in the back and they had all the smoke. So I opened the back window, opened the top window, and I was like, yeah, there we go.
Did you open the flare and just like instantly I got to real quick? That looks like it took some skills.
I pulled that flare. I'm like, that's me. I'm like impulsive at that point. I'm like, oh, they're filming. We gotta do something cool. Like, poof, fuck. It was like,
it's definitely modified, man. Tell me what you got done to this. Is this like a stock run, or is it, everybody kind of different kind of cars, or what's a run ball rally like?
That was not a stock one. That thing pushed around 520 horses.
Oh wow.
I got the moose mirror out of America. We gotta have the moose mirrors out of the USA for that car.
Okay,
sorry.
Okay.
You gotta have them. A Ram needs moose mirrors.
Yeah.
Even though in Belgium I have been held by the police like multiple times because they were like measuring the car as too wide. But in Belgium they have one rule. The car can be measured from door to door and not from mirror to mirror.
Ah.
So that's why I got the moose
definitely
mirrors.
know your laws.
Yeah, I'm very into that one.
Are there many Dodges in Belgium?
There used to be a lot more. I got mine 1 of 1,000 copper edition black pack, imported from the US because I didn't want to be one of the other guys with a white or a black or a silver Ram again.
Good looking truck.
So I love that one. I had to sell it after 4.5 years with about 540,000 kilometers on the clock.
Okay, so you thoroughly enjoyed that truck.
That thing has been off-road, that thing has been on-road, that thing has been places where it shouldn't even have been. I got some spacer, as you can see, I got some spacers to put the tires out.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
I fully welded an LED bar onto the grill in front. I was like, yeah, that's need to come on. But with that thing, you can see the lights in my grill, and there's one thing special that you don't see. That truck has saved more lives than you can imagine in 4.5 years' time.
Oh yeah? Is this when you did the organ transports?
Yeah.
Okay.
That one had blue lights and had a siren and was legal, by the way, for doing that. I had
So when you're doing organ transportation, you're actually moving, huh? You're You're
truck
trying to get to the hospital or wherever you're going as quickly as possible.
quickly calculated, that truck was doing an average of 100 miles an hour every time.
Wow. See, I didn't know
yeah.
that part of it. I forget. I think we were talking to 𝙃𝙼𝙀𝙀 about him doing, or I believe he did organ transport too. I didn't realize it was like, you know, and now that I think about it, it's so common sense. It's a race for time.
Yeah, it's definitely, there is a lot of pressure. There is zero room for a mistake because if you fill papers in, you cannot miss like 1 point on an I. You cannot, if you need to write Indy, don't miss that 1 dot because that organ might be for the trash. So you have to keep everything in. Yeah, it's like zero room, zero room. And I did that
Wow.
job with a lot of love and a lot of sweat, a lot of blood as well, because those things, those boxes, they were just cutting into my shoulder because they weigh so much.
Man.
And sometimes I had 2, and it's real heavy.
Wow. I didn't even
But
think about
yeah,
that. So when people tell me
from
about organ transport now, I'm gonna be that like, you got to have like a legit car. You got to, that's that kind of makes that job that much more cooler. Like, you're genuinely saving lives. Like, and you got to think about that. Like, people are on these lists waiting and waiting and waiting, and then when that time comes, it's like boom. And that's living tissue. So I'm sure there's time frames on that alone.
Yep. There's time frames. There's some things that need to be moved within an hour. There's some things I have to run from Belgium, from Brussels. I had to go with a certain type of tissue to transplant, and I had to go to Denmark. So I went in one go over Germany, straight into Denmark, deliver it, and straight back to Brussels as soon as possible. So I didn't sleep a lot. There was a lot of Monster involved. I
So
drank a
do you
lot of
get some
Monster.
kind of like pass to do that? Is there like with the lights and stuff? Like do the
Yeah,
police kind of, they know that that's
yeah.
happening, and do they escort you, or do they, like, how does that
Yeah,
work?
that
Wow.
also works, but that's depending on what the situation is. I've been escorted twice. I'm not going to go into full detail because of medical secrets and stuff, but there was a piece of liver for a 9-year-old kid that needs to go so damn fast. I was stuck in traffic. People didn't let me go through because it's not normal to seeing a truck like that with blue lights. And I had to call the dispatch and ask for escort. And then 2 police officers came, one in front, one in the back. And
Wow.
that's
So you're kind of a hero, man. I don't know if
I
anybody's
that's
ever told
something
you that, but
I
that's I mean, especially for that
that's
9-year-old, you were a hero that day.
that's something I never actually took for me. I never felt myself a hero because for
Oh
me,
man.
that's something I always said to myself.
Chat, let this man know he's a hero. That's
It's my job.
you've given me,
But
yeah, but your job is a purpose. You know, we were just talking about that with my job. You know, we work with kids, and it's like, if you're here for the paycheck, man, you're here for the wrong reasons. There has to be a why. Has to be a
I
why.
never
You
did for
know,
the paycheck. Never.
you're out there
But
saving people, man. That's
the
whole new respect for you, my guy. Whole new respect.
the one thing that comes with that job is the downside and the downfall. Most people quit after 5, 6 months. I did it 4.5 years. And to be honestly, and I'm not gonna say a lot of things about it, but I moved about every piece of organ besides the heart from Belgium to Netherlands from a 15-year-old girl that was mowed off the road by a drunk driver. And he basically got how long? He got a 3,800 fine, and his license was suspended for a few months. That was it. And that was for me. I had to get a psychologist with me in Netherlands because I was broken down in front of my truck, was broken fully down, couldn't do the job anymore.
Hmm.
I sat there for 4 or 5 hours in Netherlands, people talking into me because I was done, man. I couldn't mentally, I was broken. It didn't click anymore. And then the next day I went to the dispatch and said, "This is my badge. I'm done. I'm just
Wow.
done." And they were like shocked, like what happened? I'm
Yeah,
like, I'm
it's
done. I can't anymore. My mental stability is going down. And yeah, to be fair, I miss it. I seriously miss it.
yeah, those
But would I do it again, knowing what I know now? No.
Wow.
I enjoyed everything, but no, I couldn't do it again. It's been too much, because I always say, you go with somebody, and that's the worst part of it. I see the people that donate. I have to sign papers. I have to see them take the blood of that person. I need to sign. It's from that person.
Wow.
That's like what I've seen. You don't want to know. I'm not gonna explain it here either. I leave that picture in my brain, with all due respect. But and then you come into the other side, and you're like, there's happiness. People are like, oh, thank you. Oh, you're a hero. And that's why I'm like, hero. No, I'm doing my job, what I love, what I want to do, want to save people. And it was like, for me, like, it's suffocating you at that point.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be suffocated anymore. And that's why I wouldn't do it again anymore. I have been asked, but I was like, no, sorry, thank you.
Yeah, man. There's
I love
almost
the opportunity, but no.
There's almost a small window that the brain can tolerate that kind of pain, you know. And I don't know what that feels like, man, but you know, I've gained so much more respect for you sharing your testimony about that. I've worked with children for 17 years, going into my 18th year. Started when I was 21, you know, worked my way up, and you know, being a young male in behavioral health, you know, they keep you with the boys because, you know, it's so easy for the ladies to say anything, you know, and you're on investigation, and and it happens all the time. Grievance procedures happen all the time, where they're manipulated or they're legitimate, you know. And so once I started getting into my 30s, I started working with the female population a little bit more, and you know, having 5 sisters, you know, I consider myself a protector, and, you know, just someone who tries to defend, you know, anybody who's, you know, weaker than me, or anything. They got it less fortunate, but oftentimes that's females in my life, and I got a huge respect for females. And I have a similar story where I was working in high needs case management, and I started taking on cases. I had about 45 cases, and I mean, being in high needs case management, I had to meet with each one of those kiddos every single month. So you can imagine 40 different meetings throughout the month, and different families, and all the plethora of issues that come with that. But I had a young lady who had an issue with methamphetamine. This is by 14 years old. I believe she was 13 at the time when I got the case. Already had an issue with being trafficked and issues like that, and would acquire methamphetamines through trafficking herself, you know, at this point. And I remember being in a CFT and just recommending a certain level of care, and trying to convince this team that if we didn't get this level of care, we were risking this young lady's life, you know, with what she was. And I begged and I pleaded with this team, and I knew where she was going to be placed, and I didn't want her placed in that specific placement because I knew who ran it, and I knew kind of the lax in supervision. I was just so fearful that this would happen. And sure enough, not even a week later, she AWOL'd and left that facility. And I spent 3 days going through her phones and contacting her friends at school, and just basically just camping outside of apartment complexes and things, you know, off shift, you know, looking for this young lady till I finally found her. And when I found her, she was in a hotel room with what I found out to be, you know, 3 adult males, all doing meth. And I kicked in the door, and you know, I busted in because I witnessed her walking, you know, and I kicked in the door, almost got myself arrested. And I was like, at that moment, I was like, I'm done with behavioral health. I told you people what was going to happen. So even though it's not the same field, it's that same feeling of like, I let this kid down, you know, and it hurt me so bad that I was like, I just can't do this anymore. And I left behavioral health for years, until I found myself back in it this year, doing what I love to do. But that pressure of doing jobs like that, where, you know, health and well-being is in your hands, man, it takes its toll. And so for everybody out there in the chat, the community, if you work with people, first responders, if you're military, if you're out there saving people's lives, or if you're doing something where you have to sacrifice your own mental health for the sake of others, man, thank you so much. And SpeedyBE, man, thank you. You may not want to hear that you're a hero, bro, but I'm going to call you that every single time, man. And I know chat feels the same way. Your boy Yill's in here.
Yeah, I yelled, and I just seen Brigsby has to go. So if he's still here, bye
Later,
Brigsby,
Briggs,
thanks
brother.
for being here.
We're getting all emotional up in here, man. We're getting we're talking about some serious stuff, man, and some other serious things. Like, I don't know if people understand just, you know, how close yourself came to death, you know, and we can pop up this this picture of your Volvo here, which is one of the safest cars in the world, and I know you're a big fan of that, and it
Yeah.
actually just recently saved your life again, kind of, in a way, you know, by, you were telling me you're on a trip on the highway and had a piece of sheet metal or something flying at you.
Yeah,
But
that one.
you've had some very close calls with death yourself, and I'm gonna show this picture of your car accident, man. Walk us through that.
Yeah, so that was one of my deepest points in life. Was driving on the highway, and it was just like, it was a traffic jam, normal day, April, just 9:55 o'clock in the morning. I was driving on the first lane behind the truck, nothing too special, just driving 64 kilometers, 65 kilometers an hour. Was even on I was even on autopilot on my car, so the car kept the distance for me. And all of a sudden, a truck in front of me with Lithuanian plates, he just pulled that truck and trailer to the left, so a trailer goes out to the right, and he pulls on the second lane. And by that time, thank God I had the reflex to move my wheel, because I had nowhere to go. It happened all in a fraction of a second because he avoided what I was crashed into. So I had nowhere to go, but you can see on the pictures, my car is perfectly placed in the middle. That's something I always learned. Also in the things that I've done with my organ transport, I learned how to drive with fast on the highway and stuff, and how reaction time works. And that's basically all learning from that I placed my car perfectly in the middle. But I went under that truck, and yeah, it all went dark.
Wow.
It just went dark. I had
Well,
no clue where I was. I woken up to the thing you see hanging there, by the way, in the middle of the picture. That thing called emergency services, and I couldn't reply because I was like, I didn't know where I was at that point. I was in my car. That's the only thing I knew. What happened, where I crashed into, I do recall like hitting it, but the moment I hit it, it went black. It was just full black. I woke up to the sound of hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Hello. And I was like, where the fuck am I? I have no fucking clue. So I pushed my own door open. I got out of the car, full of adrenaline, of course. I had no pain. I was, let me say, Hercules for all I care. So I got out of the car, and I looked at the car and I was like, painful. Like, that was my first reaction, painful. Like, yeah, why even? So, and I go to the truck that I crashed into and go ask the driver, are you okay? Do you have pain? I was the one like asking him, like, do you have pain?
yeah,
And he's
he's
like,
probably
dude,
looking at you like, how did you survive?
you're just out of that car. How? I'm like, yeah, but I'm okay. Don't have pain. I have nothing. Yeah, fire department came. Police came, of course. You can see them in the back there. The ambulance came,
And this is
and
just,
they were
this looks
like,
like just a regular morning.
yeah, and they were like, where's the driver? I'm like, here. And yeah, of course, I had stickers on my car because with that car, a few months before, I won the Run Ball Rally trophy. So yay. um, so yeah, the wildest things, because I was very active on TikTok, and the wildest things, I have 11K followers on TikTok, and the wildest things were going. He drunk, he drove too fast, he's on drugs, he was on his phone. So basically, they pulled my blood. Nothing I wasn't drinking alcohol, I wasn't doing drugs. They checked my screen time on my phone. That was just on Spotify for 42 minutes. I remember that one because I still have the screenshot from it. That was the only thing open, Spotify, and that was because it was connected to my car. So nothing there. So it wasn't on my phone. I wasn't distracted. I didn't fall asleep or nothing, because otherwise I would have been somewhere else with the car. So till today, I still don't have a clue how it happened. I just know I seen that truck move. The next thing I know, yeah, I'm waking up and my car crashed.
Wow.
So yeah, of course, me being the the wannabe Hercules I am, no, I'm not going. The positive thing, I know the ambulance doctor that was there. So I was like, no, I'm not going to the hospital, because in Belgium, if you take this to the hospital, you lose your driver license. And I'm not losing my driver license, so fuck off. So sorry for saying that. I'm not going to the hospital at any given point. Not happening. So I didn't go. They did check me in the ambulance and were like, do you have pain? I'm like, no, I'm all good. I'm all good. I'm all good. So then my car was on that trailer, and I was actually on the way to the to the parking where they're gonna put the car for them. And stupidly enough, my mom seen my car on the road on that truck. So my mom came after that truck. And she steps out. She starts crying. I start crying, because at that point, the adrenaline is going out. And I started feeling pain in my chest, my head, my lower back. I felt like a total disaster, wreckage. Like everything was like, no,
Yeah,
this
you
is
don't
not good.
realize how much trauma
But
happens to the body when you're shuffled around like that in a vehicle. Like it's the
then the
body's not
stupidest,
designed to be moving like that, man.
and the fun thing about this all, the same day I got into a car to drive again, because I would not let my brain go into a full trauma mode. I would not let it. I was like, I need to be in a car. Let me drive a car. I need to be in a car. And I was standing on that one. So I drove the same day with a car, but after that, I swear to God, it hurts. And then later on, like the days moved on, and I started forgetting things. And I noticed my girlfriend asked me something, and she asked me, "Can you change the baby's diaper?" Because my kid Adelaide was just 1 month old at that point.
Oh my
Can you change
gosh.
can you change the diaper? And I'm just sitting there, and she's like, "Have you changed the diaper?" I'm like, "You didn't ask." She's like, "Yeah, I did ask." I'm like, "No,
So
because if
your
you would ask, I would remember." And that's where we actually started noticing, like, okay, something is not right with my
short-term
brain.
memory recall was affected a lot.
Yeah. So I
Frontal
went to the
lobe.
hospital. So yeah, I went to the hospital with my mom, like a big boy, 34 years old. Got asked my mom to go to the hospital, but my mom was an emergency nurse, so so yeah, I wanted her to go with me, and yeah, there we noticed that my lower back is hurt, and it's gonna always it's hit. Don't ask me which section specifically, but it's gonna be always gonna be something. So sim racing more than 3 hours for me is 3 hours is my ultimate limit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
even
definitely.
then it's hard. Then I also have
Wow.
something on my chest, which is going to be for the rest of my life. It's a chronic disease that you can get for either arthritis, or you can get it from impact. So in my case, it's impact. So
Oh,
yeah, so that's
man.
something that can go away. That's a positive thing, but it can last for many, 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 many years.
Wow.
So also
Damn.
something I got from it. Yeah, also something I got from it. I can't. I don't stand sunlight anymore. Like when I go outside, my glasses are inside. My sunglasses. Like if I go outside, the sun is shining. I need my glasses on, or it's instant headache, even close to migraine. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I have
that with memory loss.
I have a similar I mean I had a horrible accident back in 2013, year after I graduated college. I hit a car at 120 on my bike and degloved my right knee, detached my PCL, spent 28 days in ICU, 2 years learning to walk twice again, after the trauma healed, learning to walk on that and then getting back in a wheelchair, having my PCL reconstructed, and ended my MMA career, ended my dreams of being a professional athlete in any capacity. And it's after moments like that, after going through traumas like that and grazing death, and almost having, there's so many other people who experience less that are not here with us anymore, to survive something like that. That's really when I think my brain shifted, because I was kind of a knucklehead. I was a tough guy. I was never a bad person, but I didn't go above and beyond to be a great person or a good person, you know, and I don't think I'm great now, but I know that my ambitions on a daily basis are to help people and to leave a positive impact. And it's things like that that reshape you, man. And so I appreciate you telling that story. I could feel the emotion, man. I can see it in your eyes. I know how grateful you are. And then to hear, you know, and you have another older daughter too. So it wasn't even just the, you know, the baby. It was, you know, you have your oldest daughter is not even, you know, that old, you know, like she's a teenager. 17. Yeah, I didn't know if you wanted to put me to put that out there, but she's 17 years old, you know, so I can imagine was that 3-4 years ago that, you know, that's, gosh, I mean, that is such a huge time in their life for you to survive. And then obviously there's a purpose there. And I'd say this to my kid, like, I don't even think my purpose is me. My purpose is getting my kids so that they can fulfill their purposes. You know, this is a long-term thing that happens. So I'm just grateful that you're here, man. And I'm grateful that you had those instincts and all that in that training. And it's crazy when you look at the analytics of it and realize how perfectly imperfect the situation is to survive, you know, and just kind of what we go through to be on the other side, man. So just wow, mind blown again, man.
Yeah, it definitely is reshapes you. Like for me personally, like back in the before the car crash, I was like, I loved living on the edge. I didn't care, man. Highway, I would just put the pedal to the metal and like, fuck life. I'm going for it no matter what. I
Yeah,
used to
I
do it on my
was
organ
too
transportation.
fast.
And to be fair, I'm gonna hold wood for that one, but I can say until that point, I never had a crash of myself, never in 15 years of my license. And that one split moment changed for me my whole life because for me, my brain went in a totally different state. Excuse me. It was like going into a survival mode. Like I needed a new car. I was fully insured, so everything is paid back. So I had that money and I was going survival mode. And this is gonna sound so stupid, guys. I never liked Volvo. I think they're disgusting cars. Honestly, I wanted something that is like it needs to stand out because I'm not driving that old looking Volvo. No way. And there was just the last batch of Polestar engineers, and I was like, okay, let's do that one. I want the safest car on the planet, and that's Volvo. It's always been. So let's get that one. My girlfriend was like, Grandpa, like legit, Grandpa car. You're gonna be a grandpa.
Once
She
you're
actually
a car guy though, you can see that this Volvo ain't no joke.
Yeah, well, and I was like, this is not just a grandpa car, but yeah, you're driving like a grandpa. At this point, you're going like, what is it, 60 miles an hour on the highway? Normally you do faster. And I'm like, yeah, but yeah, it's for me. I've learned to calm down now due to the car crash. Nothing to do with the speed in particular, but I learned to calm down. And it certainly starts somewhere. Like I used to be like, oh, okay, let's go to work, and if I need to be open half hour, 45 minutes later in the shop, that's no problem. And after that, now when the clock strikes 6, the door is locked. I'm gone. I don't want to be any more minute in there.
Yeah.
The door opens at 10, and we will be arriving at 9:58. And when I'm gonna close 5:58, I'm starting to get everything away, the cash in the vault and everything, and like I'm closing. It's done. That's my hours, 10 to 6, and it's done. I have more in life that I have to enjoy. There's much more than just working. There's much more than just money.
Yep.
There's so many things to do, so many things to see.
Yep. Yeah, I was too fast for my own good, man, and I was a young father with a young kid, and I had no right to be moving the way I was moving through the world. And once I hit that car, man, it stopped me dead in my tracks, and I almost lost my leg, and I lost goals that didn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Like I wanted to be a pro fighter. I had always wanted to be a professional football player, and I just was a little undersized or a little under opportunity or whatever excuse I can make. I mean, I ruined it for myself in many places, but I played 3 years of college football, you know, after, you know, 4 years of high school football, after 5, 6 years of youth football. And I wanted to be on a big stage. I wanted my last name to mean something on the back of a jersey or up in the light. I just wanted that. And coming from, you know, being an orphan and growing up in foster care, like I just wanted so bad to be relevant. And I think that's where my brain was wrong, in that I was having this child in this world. I was still living for my own accord. And after that wreck, it shifted my brain into, I'm going to make sure that I give my son the best life that I can. That's my only purpose in this world now, is to be the best person I can be and give him the opportunity to, you know, not make the mistakes that I did, and to be able to live a fulfilling life. So it changed me a lot. You know, it made me slow down on bikes and cars. You know, my obviously training kind of went out the window to a certain extent, but it wasn't, you know, for a lot of years I thought I'd make this comeback, and I couldn't physically. And it'll change you, man. And I know there's a lot of people out there, especially in chat, that are, oh yeah, a lot of people in this chat that have been through some things, and just it blows my mind every time I talk to you guys and realize that there's so much more to the people that are behind the wheel, every pun intended. So I again, another moment where I feel the emotion and the clarity of thought after something like that. And, you know, your life, it needs to be about the family, man. And it's about them, and it's about putting them in the best place possible. So I think sim racing is a way for us dads to stay home, and connected to our families in a certain way. And it's one of those things that are, it's cool enough and appropriate enough to share with our kids. You know, Call of Duty isn't always, you know, the first thing you want to jump in and do your kids and be, you know, we do it, but it's like, you know, this skill is only going to help you in one place in the world, I guess. But, you know, you become a driver. I mean, you could really do something with that, you know, whether it's just doing what I do with it, which is cool, look what I've done, or hey, take this to real world experience and become something from it. But either way, a lot of us dads are home now because we've found a hobby that, you know, is home based. And I think that's another special side of this.
I always tell my girlfriend, like, sometimes she is like going at me like, are you really gonna race in a weekend? Normally a weekend you don't race. And I'm like, well, there's one major difference. You know where I am.
Yep.
You know I'm not in the pub. I'm
Yep.
just sitting at home,
Yep.
safely, no other woman around me.
What?
I'm just here.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's
if you
so
need
many
me,
positives.
yo, I'm here.
right
yo.
here. Yeah, that's the same thing. And so Misa's cool with it because again, man, I ride bikes. So we're in the first, you know, last year, I mean, Saturday nights, I'm out on the town riding around. You know, I'm getting back 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. I mean, shoot, riding to the grocery store is dangerous, let alone ripping around town, you know, hanging out with the street racers and stuff, you know. And you know, I like to play pool, man. I like to go hang out with my friends and stuff. And I mean, I haven't been to play pool, or I don't even ride my bikes anymore. I just ride them so that they don't break down, because I love, I come home and I'm like, man, I want to jump on the rig. I get to relax, man. I got my protein shake right here. I get to kick back. I can take care of my house. I'm home based. You know, it's a good hobby. So I mean, don't complain too much now, Misa. Because I could pick that helmet up and I really am going fast, not just pretending to go fast. No, but the community is the cool thing about this is the community has rallied around Misa a lot, and now she's actually starting to stream a little bit, and she's on TikTok. So she actually, like I said, she just posted her video. You know, we're out here doing what we do for the couple hundred clicks and, you know, the couple hundred views. She got 32,000 views on her little video that I posted the same one on YouTube, and it's got a couple hundred views. But it's, you know, she's out here killing it in her own little social media. So I came back home when I got off shift, because I'm away from the house for a couple days. I stay on site. I came back home, and the light was purple, and everything was set up for her to stream. And I was like, okay. And then actually my daughter came up and was like, mommy was streaming when you were gone. And I was like, okay. I see you working, but I'm happy that she likes it. I really am. You gotta get your lady, you gotta get her, man, give her some time, make her a little promo, maybe a little logo, and be like, look, babe, it's all about you.
No, I hear somewhere there needs to be like a game room update and a second sim rig,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
couple sim racing.
Yep. A couple. Yeah, we were gonna do her channel's Misa and Mista, so it was like, well, we could set it up. I know. I think it was. I think I'm gonna meet him, Matt Mahone, or I forget his name, Matt Malone. And I think he has his sim room is his game room is insane. I get to meet him this next weekend. I'm really excited. But his whole game room is crazy, and I think he has like the his and hers side by side. And I mean, that's the ultimate goal, man. So chat, come on, support us enough. We'll get Bisa a rig. We'll do his and her sim racing. How about that? I do like the guy. Have you seen the guy out there who's doing sim racing with his daughter? It's like him and her side by side, and dude, that's goals, man. That's goals. I'm still like, with my one daughter, problem with this rig is it's just too big and it's not adjustable. If I had like the Sammy Snake one where it kind of crunches together, like, but I need to get one and do one of those collaborations. I think that's where the magic happens.
Yeah, that's like I told you, next gen sim racing I think has the little one for kids, like the little sim rig for kids. You can actually fold it and stuff. It's not that expensive, but might be an idea.
Yeah, that would be cool, man. That would be cool.
I could see my little one sitting next to me, mommy standing behind it, like.
Yeah. You had your chance, mom. You had your chance. This could have been your rig, but then is there going to be some family feud? Like, you're getting all of Speedy's time. Like, I want Speedy's time, but you could sit right here next to me. Like, the way I set it up, because Misa likes to play Call of Duty. So I got the computer over here now where she can play Call of Duty on the computer, and it's nice because we're getting shoulder time. We're sitting side by side. We're watching a movie. I'm racing. She's playing Call of Duty, and then we'll flip it now because now she likes to race. So I'll jump on Call of Duty.
Well, that's what I actually trying to do now. So, like I told you before we started the episode, like I have a second computer here next to me that I just built it. For my girlfriend, so she can start streaming. She doesn't like sim racing. She tried. She actually, what I told you, I let her. I showed her Misa racing, and she doesn't even have the patience for it. So she sits on it and she's like, "I can't do that. I can't do that."
Yeah, Misa,
like,
and then
okay.
Misa looks at my times, and then she thinks she's doing bad. Like, she's like, "I'm like 10 seconds behind you," and I'm like, "But do you realize how much work I've done to get that 10 seconds? Like." Just enjoy it. And so honestly, when I leave the room, she does her best. I mean, and then she needs me to coach her, but then she needs me to leave. Like, and then I'll coach her too much. And then she's like, all right. I got it. Your voice is already in my head telling me everything I need to do. I can hear you already. But I think it's awesome, man. It's one of those games, like I said, like the whole family can kind of do, and then, like I said, it gives me, I guess, more justification to, hey, we gotta maybe buy this, maybe.
Yeah,
she'll let me spend some money.
For my girlfriend, I built a new PC. I got a graphics card and a power supply from Nigel in my stream, my in real life friend. I got that from him, so we can get her started. Because I bought the case, I bought the motherboard, I had the RAM memory laying around. I actually went to get a new screen. I did a massive deal on that one. That guy was selling a 27-inch screen, full HD for like $100, and I'm like, yeah, sure, I want it because I need a second screen for my girlfriend. I come over there and, asshole that I am, I admit it, and I'm seeing that screen and I'm like, dude, that is not a 27, that's a 32-inch screen, but I'm silent as hell.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, cool, looks cool. Yeah, here's the money. I'll just take it. Without saying anything, I put the screen in my car. I drove around. and parked myself on the side to be sure. And I'm like opening my trunk, and I'm like, "That's a 32-inch for $100. I mean, the
Score.
27 is normally $100." I came home and I'm
Yeah.
like, "I got it with 32." She's like,
Oh.
"Oh, you gotta be shitting me." I'm like, "Yeah, that's going on my sim rig. You get the small one." She's like, "Yeah, no, I have a 32-inch above my
I
thing,
saw
and
it,
she
man. I
has a
saw it, man.
27 one."
The rig is sick. Again, in case anybody hasn't seen it, SpeedyBE has quite the rig set up here. And we'll look at that screen. So this is his first picture, the little screen. And then this next picture. Look at, he went from that to that.
Yeah, the only thing is I'm legit sitting like if you can see it on the camera, my front door is just behind me. That's my front door. So I'm legit at my front door.
Oh, that's
so there's no other room in the house.
we
so-
do what we gotta do, man. We do what we gotta do. Not everybody gets their own room. Like I said, my kids, when I get kids moving out, then I might have a sim racing room, man. This is just starting. Wait till I'm like 45 pushing 50. I'm gonna have the most amazing I'm gonna have the 𝙃𝙼𝙀𝙀 setup for sure. Because that's when you get to really, right now the kids take up all the space, man. But our rig is actually in the master bedroom in the corner. This is a wrestling mat behind me that I put up. I roll out and I put up behind me, and I had to get her involved in it, or I was gonna have, my rig was gonna be out in the garage. It was in the garage. The problem with the garage is I like to open the door and kick back, but then the wind blows, you get the dust coming in, and I can't have dust on any of this stuff. I can't let any of this stuff get dirty. So shout out to Misa. I love you. Thank you for enjoying the things that I love and allowing me to consume this corner of our bedroom. So I can only imagine walking into the house and it's like, boom, sim racing. All right, let's see. So
and what people also forget is
there's
everything.
definitely an issue. We're good.
That was an issue for a second there.
We're good. I think we're good
So-
now. Safe.
What people also forget is like for streamers, specific sim racing is one thing, but as a streamer, like it is crazy how fast it goes. I mean, okay, some are accessories you don't need, to be fair, but you want a stream deck to easily switch your stuff, to switch your scenes, because the stream deck is so handy. And if you're going into PC,
I don't even have a
it's
stream deck yet. Let me show you my stream deck. Are you ready? I just
Okay.
put different pieces of tape on the numbers so that that's my stream deck. I just put different pieces of tape on my numbers, on my number pad on my keyboard, so that I could do that, because I don't got the money for this stuff, man. Everything I've come across has been most secondhand, or I bartered, or I traded something for something. But I do want a stream deck so bad. It looks cool.
If it works, it works. If I can advise you on that one, if you're going sim racing on PC, get the biggest stream deck, the Stream Deck XL. You'll need it. Because I have on my Stream Deck, I have 2 full screens. Like one screen is my brake bias, my brake migration, traction control, traction slip, traction cut, ABS, ARB front, ARB back, and everything is there. Like you have 2 full screens that you need. So yeah.
I didn't even think about that too. So using the stream decks for, hotkeys for your actual car and everything like that, that's probably something, that's a whole nother level of immersion. Shout out Crawler, I see you. To answer you, Yill, how hard is it to live with a majestic beard? It's hard in the beginning, I'd say, to grow the beard, and to get through all the phases of patchiness, and just knowing that you gotta shave and you gotta grow and you gotta shave and you gotta grow. And you guys remember in the beginning, some of you guys knew me from the channel, my beard was down here past this sim racing thing. So I had the SpeedyBE level, it hurt me to cut that, but going back to work, in the professional setting I was in, I was grateful that they let me have a beard, let alone having to cut it. But yeah, man, pomades, little Always. Once you got a
And also
beard,
the-
you realize your face touching goes up quite a bit because you think like this now.
I got the 𝙃𝘼𝙑𝙀, the big one. For sim racing on PC, it's a must-have. That's why I'm telling this. But also, if you calculate, I mean, 𝙃 has the same one. 𝙃 has the same microphone as me. This thing over here, I don't know if you can see it, but that wave with the mic arm, that's like, what, 350, $400 together for like a decent microphone. I'm like, honestly, I'm happy this is sponsored, by the way. This is shout out to my sponsor there. This is sponsored because he did a lot of this stuff. But then I have like, then I don't know if you've seen it, that there is like a big DDU screen from 6.8 inch. That's also from somebody that came into my stream. It's a Belgian company, by the way. I'm not going to shout it too loud, but it's KGL. And he's sending me that package without me asking, like, can you review this for me and see if you're happy with it and stuff? And I was a guy like, I don't need that shit. I mean, why would I need a screen in front of my screen to see what's on the car in the game?
That's epic.
To see on the screen. And actually, after a while, it started clicking for me. Like
the
I
telemetry
do
data
use
and stuff.
Yeah, I use that thing more often than you think. I mean, specifically the LEDs on top of it. It is so
Yeah.
useful in PC rate. You don't actually need a DDU to be fair, but it does show like a lot more information than what the game does. But the ref lights, not specifically the ref lights, don't care about those. But on the sides, there are markers. If a car on your left, on your right, it doesn't matter. It's gonna pop up like a bright red light in your face, or blue lights, or yellow lights if the track is yellow. And that helped me so much in my PC sim racing. Like, you don't have that in Gran Turismo. Like, it's yellow, and you have to divert your thoughts of, yeah, where's the yellow? Where do you see it? And before you know it, and you're fighting somebody, and suddenly it's yellow, and in Gran Turismo you go across, and boom, penalty. Like,
Wow.
hmm.
There's levels to this stuff, y'all. There's levels to this stuff. Dang, I'm gonna have to come to you after this expo when my brain is trying to, because I know I'm gonna see things that I want to participate in after this expo because it's gonna be so PC heavy, and I'm gonna be like, man, and it's all freaking money, and there's so much trial and error in this. You don't want to buy the wrong thing. You don't want to waste money on things you don't need, and you want to have as many cool things as you possibly can. Yeah, early VKG was pretty cool. I do miss that guy. I was a little bit more hardcore back then. Had a little bit more muscle to me. I had the whole Viking cut going, man. I had the ponytail and the long beard, and I was embracing the Vikingism as much as I could. And yeah, I had to go pro and had to clean it up a little bit, but I appreciate y'all that stuck around. Maybe the channel would have grew a little bit quicker if I kept the beard longer, but it is what it is. Papa's House of Game is in here. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Good to see you. Glad you made it in. We're just wrapping it up. One of the things we like to do here towards the end is we come across that 2-hour marker, and my 7-year-old's about to get off the bus here in like 15-20 minutes, so I'm gonna go meet her out there. But one of the things I like to save till the end is, where did you come up with the name SpeedyBE? Like, where does this all come from? Tell us about the logo.
The logo is actually, as you can see, it's SW, which stands for my company, my photography, SpeedyWorks, with a Z on the end, SpeedyWorks. Otherwise, you can go get sandwiches. Legit, there's a SpeedyWorks for sandwiches, and there's a SpeedyWorks with a Z for photography. That's mine. But yeah,
SpeedyWorks
everything
with a Z.
Yeah, actually, everything around it is all about Speedy. It started out as SpeedyWorks, Speedy this. I had a construction company for 2 years, which was Speedy Constructions. So yeah, everything around Speedy, and that name is actually one that I got back in the day. Before my first name was actually Gonzalez. Yeah, I'm not shitting. I just took Gonzalez as a name in my Call of Duty 4 career that I did. And then people started calling me Speedy more often in the clan. And that name started sticking by me because it sounded more fun, like, yeah, Gonzalez.
Yeah, I think.
And then was like,
I think
Speedy, Speedy. And it started clicking so fast in me, Speedy, Speedy. Yeah, but back in the day, you didn't have clan tags. You had to do like underscore and this and that. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna make it SpeedyBE so people know I'm from Belgium. So, yeah.
Oh, I
So
see you
that's
working.
where the name come from. So yeah, that name has stuck by me since ever I started gaming and never went to school anymore because I told my mom I had a very important match to play, which was not so important because it was actually just training. Yeah, but I played a lot of CS 1.6, a lot of Call of Duty 4, and
Speedy.
yeah, it's
SpeedyBE.
like
We've had some interesting name reviews, man. It's awesome. Like Pupuyuku, like means like a fool where he's from, like a drunken fool. Sammy Snake, translate directly to his junk. His trouser snakes. It's funny, man. We got Wrench Wench coming up, so I'm sure we'll have a good story about that. We got a bunch of other people in the line getting on behind the wheel. I try to make sure I do one every month. We were on pace to try to get one in every other week, but with time restraints, you know. But I'm really feeling like I'm gonna come back from this expo with a whole lot of energy and reinvigorated. So I do appreciate you, Mr. SpeedyBE, being episode 21, joining us all the way from Belgium. Second Belgium in a row. You and third in a row.
Yield.
Oh yeah.
Scala is also from
So
Belgium.
we made our way through the UK. Now we're making our way through Belgium. We need some. We're gonna get some American racers back out here, but this is a worldwide event, man. We're giving a voice to the folks behind the wheel, and I was just really honored for you to be here, man. I'll let you take the floor for a minute and kind of say goodbye to chat and say whatever you got to say, man.
Okay. Well, just to reply on Yield, because Yield still asked us a question and we kind of went over it.
Oh yeah, if we have any questions, y'all can throw them out there now. We'll answer.
What is it? What is the next upgrade you are looking or saving for? Well, I just bought my screen from that's a 57-inch dual 4K that I bought to save a lot for it, and I waited till Samsung did a discount on it, and I got it for $1,800 instead of 2,400. So that's a massive save, thank God. But the first thing I'm now upgrading, it's not going to be a new pedals that's coming out in Q4 because there are coming new pedals from Fanatec. Shouldn't have said that, but I did anyway. Sue me. But the seat, I want the next gen level racing seat with the ventilation in it. I really want that one because back sweats, they're a real thing in racing. Don't lie. We're all suffering from it. So yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I would say if there are any questions, ask him. And otherwise, I'm really glad to be here, Viking, and thanks for the opportunity. And also thanks to, I have to say it, otherwise it will kill me, but thanks to 𝙃𝙼𝙑𝙀 Sim Racing for sponsoring me. Icon City, if you want cool icons for your sim deck. Stream deck, that was it. Icon City. Discount code are all on my channel if you want. But yeah, we have to shout them out because they also helped me get where I am now. And I mean, fairly early on, I got some sponsors in. And the last one is G Fuel.
G Fuel. Shout out to G Fuel. I seen Y Foods popping up in the sim community now. You got Hogston and Rory on Y Foods, so I might have to try a bottle of Y Food. Y Food, hit me up.
I have it. I have it. It's disgusting. I'm gonna be honest. It's disgusting to bits. Like seriously. No, I have tried it. I have tried multiple of them. I even got some out of the UK. I found them in Belgium. And no, you can drink them.
Sorry, Rory.
If
Sorry,
they're ice cold, but otherwise they're just no.
Oh man.
If you're if you're really a fan of it, I mean, go for it. I've drank like 4 or 5 flavors, and I was like, this is like just you're drinking powder. Like honestly, what is it? Well, with G Fuel, I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm I mean, G Fuel contacted me because they have a new hydration line apparently.
I
And
need some
I'm
sponsors
not
to hit me up, man. Hit up your boy, man. It's your boy Viking.
go to
Give me a
apply
sponsor.
to apply to G Fuel now because they're looking for sim racers for hydration. If
Okay.
you don't have
I'm gonna have
one,
to check them out.
go to. I will send you the link. I will send you a link after
Yeah.
the stream because they're looking for some sim racers, and I think I'm still the first one at this point.
Hey,
I mean,
okay.
I'm
Shout out to
I am
G
not for
Fuel.
I'm not for the energy drinks. I'm not for the caffeine drinks. I'm using only the hydration one.
Yeah, I don't even know. Very few people know how hard my week was. I was in the ER last Friday, a week ago with kidney stones. I literally walked into the ER like a chimpanzee, man. I couldn't stand up. And they say kidney stones is the closest thing to giving birth, and I was absolutely floored. It tore me up really, really bad. And then Monday, my laptop crashed, which is really, really, really unfortunate because I used that at work to like do my shorts and stuff. And then 3 days ago or 4 days ago, my son crashed his truck. He fishtailed, lost control, overcorrected, hit a tree. Luckily, he's okay. But his truck got trashed, and my mom was in a car accident 2 weeks ago. So it's been a really crazy couple of weeks. I try not to let that get me down. I try to bring the energy and come on stream. But part of the lack of why I haven't been able to kind of be on as much over this, at least this week and last week, is just really been a rough week. So this was definitely a breath of fresh air, man, and hanging out with you guys again. I love these episodes. I love how they reinvigorate me and the community, and hopefully introduce some new folks to each other, man. But I'll let you get back to your family. I know it's getting late for you out there, man. Thank you for coming out. Episode 21, SpeedyBE. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man.
Thanks, guys.
All right, brother. I will let you go, and I'll chat with you here soon.
Okay, mate.
All
Thanks
right.
for having me, and thanks, Chad, for being here.
Yes, sir.
And,
Yes, sir.
See you on the flip side.
See you later, brother. Man, oh man, what another banger. What a good episode. I feel like these are almost like therapy sessions for me. Like talking to another person who's going through the things that I'm going through. Another father, managing time, just managing the energy and the monetization behind this, the community. Just what a great feeling afterwards of being able to kind of get that out there, have a few laughs, a few tears. I mean, tell me y'all didn't have teary eyes coming. Once I saw Speedy starting to teary, I was like, man, it's coming. These are some tough stories, but these are what make up the people behind the wheel. And I hope that with every episode, we find a new appreciation for a new person in the community, and we give them a platform and a voice to kind of connect and bond with some new folks. So I'm just so grateful that all of you guys came out. Brigsby, Papa, Dreamy Lion, Yil, Farouk, hanging out all the way, man. Thank you so much. SpeedyBE, Yil, I said Yil again, Grover, man, everybody else who came in. I'm just every single time I'm just dumbfounded at what these things do, and hopefully it motivates you. Hopefully you know that there's another guy in the community out there that you can reach out to on Discord and on his channel who's very tech savvy, who kind of knows what it takes to do the game. He's made the transitions from console to PC, if that's something you're thinking about. Has a lot of insights on these games. Just even talking to him, I feel like, okay, I have a kind of a direction that I want to go to. But I'm appreciative, man. I'm really appreciative. We're out here making forever content. We're out here trying to make people feel good. So until next time, y'all, Viking King is out.
Listen, Molly's groove, but not his grace with every move. Racing souls of fire inside, chasing dreams where the legends hide. Through the turns, the glory is real. Behind the wheel, we feel the thrill. Papa's house, the crown shines bright. Crazy lanes in the dead of night. Austin GT and Rick B's raid. Grim and the crew driving it insane. Erratic twists and Molly's groove, but Nani's grace with every move. flies and jesters grin. This is the race where we all begin. C20 wave, buzz the track. Dutchies roll, there's no going back. Worries pace and TQ stride. Nil and Digit, the kingdom's pride. Papa's house, the crown shines bright. Crazy lanes in the dead of night. Austin GT, Eric B's rain. Grim and the crew driving it insane. Legends carved on asphalt's face. Racing royalty holds the space. We honor them, we join the scene. Our favorite racers, the speed supreme. Erratic twists and Marley's groove, but Naughty's grace with every move. 𝙃𝙼𝙀𝙀 and jesters grin. This is the race where we all begin. Erratic twists and Marley's groove, but Naughty's grace with every move. 𝙃𝙼𝙀𝙀 and jesters grin. This is the race where we all begin. Insane. Insane. Erratic twists and Marley's groove, but Naughty's grace with every move. 𝙃𝙼𝙀𝙀 and jesters grin. This is the race where we all begin.